All right, I've got a couple things to show you guys. Not the blue things, those two are Janae's. However, I do have this piece here, and it comes with a matching tall boy. So they need quite a bit of repair. I'm gonna take you outside right now to see the other one that I have out already. All right, so here's the other one.
It's right here.
And it is as equally, if not more messed up than the long dresser. So obviously we have missing veneer, which is pretty typical, but I don't want to take all of it off because it's so ornate. So I'm going to re-glue down all of this loose stuff, probably fill in this. It's going to be painted, so I just have to make sure it's kind of even. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Probably going to keep this piece wood and then paint it. I don't know. It's got some stuff. But all the drawers still slide really nice. They obviously need to be waxed and cleaned out, but it's a really cool piece. And I got them for a great price. Little backer board up there, super cute. Gloves, don't worry about those. So yeah, before for you. All right, so I got all the hardware out. Janae's just making fun of me because there is like a missing chunk out of that drawer that I'm gonna have to repair somehow, some way. So I'm getting ready to clean it all with some TSP. Ooh, that's dark right there. And this piece had some like rodent debris in here. So that's why I'm using TSP instead of my normal natural cleaners, because you need something stronger for gross. So I'm gonna mix that up. I've got a little water bottle here that I'm just gonna mix it in there, spray it. I've got gloves, and then, you know, gonna clean it all up. All right, we had to pause the cleaning duties because, yeah, did not expect that. There's nothing left of them. Like, this thing was left out in a shop or something for, I'm guessing, decades. So there's nothing left. But that's just the worst thing I've found in a piece of furniture to date. I don't know. Oh, gross. Thankfully, I wear gloves the whole time, cause yuck. All right, I'm gonna finish cleaning. All right, these guys have been filled to the nines, like just really filled. So I'm getting ready to sand them down. I did overfill a lot of these spots because there wasn't any areas. There's such large areas here that I didn't have anything to keep them at that right level. So I overfilled, that way I can use this side and like this side to keep them down. Where here, it's really easy to just do the right amount because you've got this side and this side here and they're so close together that you can get them smooth. But here, I overfill because I have such a large gap to use. And then this guy still needs one more little bit here, but I'm gonna go ahead and sand it down, and then I'll add in that last little bit and hopefully that will be enough. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get sanding. How I did these edges is I just kind of packed on the wood filler, and then I take the card and run it along the edge to give us back the edge here. That's part of the fill. So this all turned out really, really good. There are a few spots that I'm gonna have to go back over. As I already told you, this one has to be filled in just a little bit more, but it's looking great considering it was missing that giant chunk. And then over here, I've got a couple low spots, so I'll get these guys filled in. And those guys. And this guy was a pain and chipped right here while I was sanding. So I'm gonna get him glued back down. And then I've got a low spot here that I'm gonna fill in. So just, I mean, considering all the filler that I had to do, there is minimal left to finish up on. And then I'll just take a scraper and scrape out the wells and make sure they're super clean before painting. All right, so got my smart strip. just gonna toss a whole bunch of it on here with this, because you need thick layers since strippers don't work anymore. So I'm just globbing it on, and then I've got just a little foam brush just to move it around. And so I'm going to put the base coat down. It is the number 4 in the Chalk Mountain. This is just their black color. I decided to go black instead of the charcoal route just because it's going to match the papers better, and I just think it'll be a little more cohesive and easier to deal with later. I've already shaken this up. This does have a tinge of charcoal to it. It's not like a dead black, but I think it's going to be perfect. So I'm going to get a base layer on. Let's get the show on the road. Alright, I've got a rough cut on these. I'm going to leave it like this just so that they can lay flat. Get the rough cut on these, and then when I do the poly, I'm only going to put the poly on this, not getting it outside of these lines, so then the dry paper will be really easy to cut around with the blade. That way I'll get a perfect cutout. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out, and then we will start getting some of these guys on here. Okay, all the decoupage is trimmed and cut off. I'll probably do a little sanding on the edges here just to get them in, but now I'm just gonna poly all this stuff up and call the drawers good to go until the poly's dry, and then we'll figure out what to do with the top and the back.
What are you doing up there?
You're so silly.
Mommy.
Yes, my love.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, here's what the top looks like now. It's been several hours later. It looks like things are coming up. I'm gonna do some test spots just to see. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, yep, good. Okay, well, I'm gonna scrape all this off. I'm sure you don't wanna see that because it's gross sludge. And then I'll let it kind of dry overnight after I get it cleaned up, and we'll sand it tomorrow. But I think we are going to call it a night tonight because it's getting just a wee bit too dark out here. These guys are all lined up accordingly. I keep going back and forth on whether I want to do gold leafing or if I want to just do gilding wax. So I'm going to try gilding wax first, and then if I don't feel like it's enough, I will go through and do it with the gold leaf. Good grief. Forgetting how to talk. Got the moment of truth happening. Lovely. A little before and after there. Yeah. So I've got the base part of the dresser. The top just got polyed, which is boring to watch because, you know, it's poly. So that's drying right now. And then pretty much as soon as all the poly's dried, we're going to get everything shoved in that beast and it will be finished. And then I can start working on the larger dresser, which comes with its own set of issues. So that one's going to be fun too. I'll take you on a quick little jaunt to see it. It's in my laundry room right now, as you can tell that I'm doing laundry, but it's fine. I stick furniture all over my house. My husband loves it. Everyone loves it. So this is fun. These are weighing down the drawer glide that's right here because it had popped off and I can't put nails in here because it's just over the thin sheet there. So it's getting glued down. It is nailed down in the back, but it just wasn't enough. Then I've got clamps on either side because both ends were loose. Of course, this had a bunch of veneer damage. Surprisingly, not as much as the other dresser. That is all fixed and looking good. So that's something to be thankful for. This guy, all veneer damage here. This one actually just needed a couple fills around the hardware holes. This guy is actually perfect on the inside, but this one, you can see some veneer out here. So I can't clamp those yet because I had this stuff on here and I didn't want to mess that up. So I have to wait till this dries, get it sanded, and then I can glue those guys back down where they belong. And then we're essentially going to do the same process on this one as we were doing on the other one. So I'm not going to show a lot of this because it's all the same thing. It's just on these two drawers here that are going to get the roses. On this one up here, it's going to get the stripes. These two are going to be left wood to match the top of the other one, which I haven't shown you yet because I just decided to do it tonight and it's too dark outside to film. So wowza. Okay, and then the top of this one also needs to be stripped. So that's what's going to happen to this guy. And then, I mean, I'm going to see you tomorrow because it's too late to do anything for you to see tonight. took the stain not as deep as the top of the other wood. I'm guessing it's a different kind of wood. Looks different. Feels a little different. So I'm gonna try and do another coat to get them to match up a little better. Okay, this is something. I have to get the patterns to match up, which I've done here to do these large 2-drawer sections. And now that I have it lined up, I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about keeping it lined up, because I obviously can't tape it, because, you know, the tape will be stuck on once I get it finished. It's just tissue paper, it will just tear it off. And I'd like to have a little bit of overlap, but if I overlap, I'm probably not going to be able to get it perfectly lined. I don't know. I guess I'm just going to try my hand at it, see what happens. If it turns out horribly, there's not much I can do about it. It will be on there, and I'm not taking it off, so let's hope it just turns out awesome. Because this is, you know, this has been a project and a half, these dressers. Okay, maybe I'll go do the stripes on the other drawer so that I don't have to do this right now. These I do a rough chop because I just have them come up the sides a little bit, and then I can fix them later if they come up a little too high, but it's just you know, a quick rough cutout on anything crazy. Then I'm doing this tonight. Tomorrow I will get up, and since this will be all dry, I'll be able to put on the other piece, line it up that way, and because it's dry, I can slide it around and do whatever I want, and then I'll be able to tape the other side where it's not going to be stuck down, and hopefully slowly slidey-glidey up, maybe tape down here. I don't know. I'll tape it somewhere where it's not going to matter, and then I will line it up beforehand, tape, and then lay it down smooth. And I'm sure it won't work as well as I think it will inside my wine brain. But if it does, you guys have a solution for matching up super thin tissue paper on large surfaces. Let me get going on this. Bonus, this worked. So yeah, you can see. Not terrible. Not terrible at all. You can kind of see just a little change in light and dark because this is 2 sheets of paper over the top of each other, and this one is just straight on the black paint. But it did work. So that's exciting. I'm going to go ahead and gild this guy now. And once the whole base of it's polyed, which is boring, so I'm not going to show you, but it's just going to get polyed like, you know, every other piece gets polyed, this little number will be finished as well, and that's very exciting. So I keep forgetting about this mirror. It has been set off to the side, and for whatever reason, this project is taking longer than I would like. So I just pulled it out because today is the day I'm supposed to take pictures and put it in storage and get it listed. and the mirror is not finished. So I had this one, that's this mirror here, I had this one. However, this one over here was broken out of it. So what I'm gonna do is I took this one out, I'm gonna decoupage the two sides and then leave the center one because it's still good. I was contemplating doing some glass cutting, but as I've never done that before and I'm already running well past the designated time to get this finished, I'm just gonna do the decoupage. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut out one this way, flip the mirror over and cut out one this way, and then have the two sheets that fit perfectly into those spots, and then decoupage those in. All right, here are the finished dressers in all their glory, and let me tell you, they almost didn't make it. But they did, and they're lovely, and I'm going to get $1 million for them. So if you lasted this long on this 20-minute journey, I thank you, and please consider subscribing for hopefully much shorter makeovers in the future. And I will see you guys next week.